graduation message this evening will be presented this year by senior Moni Begnaud. Please welcome Moni.
Mr. Degnar, school board, faculty, friends, family, and graduating class of 2016, we did it. It took 4 years of all-nighters, miserable driving conditions, and going through AP Ural's diplomacy game without creating enemies. But here we are at last, gathered at the same time in the same school that many of us consider to be a second home. You know, high school has been an experience. In the words of, actually, there is no road. You see, after searching for what I thought would be someone who would talk about the value and richness of high school, I came up short. I was saddened to see the various "high school taught me nothing" quotes, implying that 4 years were meaningless. And this could not be farther from the truth. High school has taught us so much. More than just avoiding the boys' bathroom in the band hallway. And I know, many of us want to jump out of our seats, forget everything about high school, and just start a new life already. But slow down, because not only might you get whiplash, but high school is something to be truly valued and remembered. Most of our memories were made here. Most of our experiences were encountered here, and above all, most of our lessons were learned here. Therefore, we must honor those 4 years for what they were. 4 impactful years. From fresh meat to senior slide, our greatest lessons will be our greatest assets. So let's take a look at 2 important lessons: connections and commitment. Now, I know this is a day to celebrate the accomplishment of the graduating class, like having only 3 people who owe more than $800 in school fines. Let's face it, none of it would have been possible without all of the amazing teachers, coaches, and administrators here at Apple Valley who always seem to be there when we need them the most. The lesson here is connection. To the teacher who comforted that crying kid, thank you. To the coach that listened to the struggles of one of your players, thank you. To the administrator who always seems to keep a level head when a fight breaks out, seriously, Mr. Eliason, what's your secret? Thank you. In a time of our lives where so many of us feel alone and confused, powerless and unheard, it's so easy to feel as though no one will truly see us. It's all of your small actions of simply being there and listening to us that we will forever carry on. A great example of someone's ability to connect would be that of AVHS custodian Jenkins Kapar. Jenkins is well regarded for his ability to connect with so many students. Not only does he actively engage in their lives, but he never passes up an opportunity to give life lessons. Like, high school relationships are a distraction, or no twerking at prom. Interestingly, one of the most amazing parts of Jenkins is that despite all of the amazing experiences, he rarely talks about himself. You might not know that he communicates with his daughter who lives in Liberia every day. You might not even know that he was on the national Liberia soccer team, or that he once served aboard a cargo ship that traveled around the world. The takeaway here is simple. Despite all of the amazing stories that he could tell, he is just as content listening to the stories of the people that he meets. To Jenkins, meeting somebody new is an important opportunity. But we must remember something else important. We are not the number of people we know, nor the number of people who know us. We are the stories of those people with whom we take the time to wholeheartedly connect with. So, whether you are going to college, the workplace, the armed forces, or any number of directions minus one direction, you have to be willing to open yourself up to the world. Only then will you truly feel connected to it. Because you never know, if the person you comforted will end up being your lifelong friend, or even your future spouse. Now, connections are one of the most valuable aspects of the human experience, but it shares a spotlight with one other lesson: commitment. In the city of Detroit, Michigan, lived a man by the name of James Robertson. This 56-year-old man woke up every day and walked to work. Okay, what's so special about that? Well, because Robertson didn't have a car, he willingly walked 21 miles from his home in Detroit to his factory job in Rochester Hills. When asked if he sleeps, he jokingly stated, "Yeah, I sleep a lot on the weekends." But went on to say, "I can't imagine not working." Commitment. The dedication to a job or a project and the willingness to pour blood, sweat, and tears to see it to the end. And while the driver's ed scrapbook is a good parallel to blood, sweat, and tears, it's all of the athletics, arts, and academics that have taught us this lesson. Athletics, like football and wrestling, made you drill and drill till you couldn't move. Arts, like debate, mock trial, and wind ensemble, made you drill and drill till you couldn't breathe. Academic classes, like AP Calc and Macro, made you drill and drill textbooks till you probably hated yourself. But it's a simple lesson. Keep moving forward. I want all of you to capture this mentality of commitment. Never stop building. Never stop learning, and never, ever stop experiencing all that life has to offer. And with 24 state wrestling championships, AP credit being tossed around, and our very own Iron Maiden's robotics team winning the World Champion Connect Award, #Girl Power, I think we've come to a very amazing end. The thing about commitment is, once our work is done, we have to find something else. As Howard Schultz, CEO of Starbucks, once said, "When you're surrounded by people who share a passionate commitment around a common purpose, anything is possible." Which is funny, because without coffee, nothing is possible. Just remember that you must stay committed to whatever task you throw yourself into. So that's all that there is, but the bell hasn't rung just yet. Because while you may think it's over, I'm sorry to say this, but school will never be over. Because the world is full of lessons. You just have to be willing to take a seat, pull out your notebook and pencil, and learn. Graduating class of 2016, it's been fun.